everything we learned in tech school, I'm gonna say doesn't, sorry, let me. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Dominga Chaton. If you are new, my name is Dominga, and if you're returning, hello. I have a video for you guys, an update for you guys, stuff y'all want to know. So I'm gonna do that in this video. Stick around, go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's get to it. Alrighty, so I am at my first base right now. I'm in my dorm room. I've been here for a minute trying to get you guys those videos about tech school and all that, just trying to edit those before I like do an update about my first base and everything like that. So I'm using my laptop here, so if I look down or something, just know I'm like reading off of my notes of what I need to like tell you guys and everything I need to remember. I am here at my first base ever, right out of tech school. Actually, I went home for a little bit. You guys saw like my homecoming video, and then I stayed there a couple weeks, and then I came here to my first base and started working as a mental health technician in the United States Air Force. So if you are new to my channel, if you have not seen any of my old videos, it took me 6 years to get in here. I've documented the whole thing, and now I am here as a mental health technician in the Air Force. And so the last couple videos I made are just like updates about how tech school was, just kind of more vlog style videos, because I was just like on the move the whole time, and so I didn't have that much like time to like sit down like this and just kind of recap. But you guys can go watch those. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my job, I guess, and I'll probably do like a poll on my Instagram of maybe questions about the job. And you guys can like go there, and I'll probably do that maybe a little bit later. So hopefully if I already did it, you guys saw it, or if I haven't done it yet, go ahead and follow me over there, and I'll put that poll up for you guys to ask me questions about the job, because it is a job that not a lot of people have, or that's true, but also a job that not a lot of people see online. Like literally, there was probably like 2 or 3 people who have a YouTube channel who have had the job of mental health technician in the Air Force, and maybe one that I saw that was a behavioral health tech in the Army. Same job, different name, but yeah. So I'm gonna start just kind of going over my notes, starting as a mental health technician. And if my hair moves throughout this video, y'all already know, if you've been here, every cut is gonna be a different hairstyle, because I'm gonna just be moving it around. So I went home from tech school. I got here. When I got here, my sponsor, who, if you're in the Air Force, usually you have a sponsor who's somebody from your job, and they kind of like take you under their wing to like get you in process and all that. My sponsor picked me up from the airport, took me into this room. It did not look like this. I rearranged everything the first night, literally. I rearranged everything like the first night, and now it looks like this. I might do a dorm tour. It's not that big. I share a bathroom right here with my suite mate. We actually work together, but maybe I'll do one. We'll see. Let me know if you want that. We did that, and then the next, so I came on a Friday, I believe, Friday or Saturday, and September 25th, and I started work that Monday. So starting work really just meant in processing. The whole first day we're on the 4th floor. We're actually at a hospital. A lot of mental health technicians in different bases, it looks different. Some of my friends who I went to tech school with, they have like a separate clinic somewhere on the base. For me, in my clinic, it's in the hospital. It's literally like the 4th floor of the whole hospital, and we're like the 2nd biggest clinic or hospital in the Air Force, so it's big. So me and him were running everywhere, from the 1st floor to the basement to the 2nd floor. We were getting like my ID, we were getting like my work badge, we were getting fingerprints done, all the in-processing things, finance. He had to drive me to another building for finance, all of that. Literally, it was like, and we were on the 4th floor. Let me tell you, but we were coming from the basement. So really it's 5 flights of stairs. We were running up and down like all day for the first day, but really the first week, the first day was just like the busiest. And I was out of breath. I was like, oh, good thing that I just came from tech school, because I'd be trying to run now. And I'm like, those stairs really, it's a lot. So that was pretty much the first week, is just in processing. Again, everything I say is just my experience. It could be totally different between like what you guys go through if you end up getting this job and everything. And I will have a video of like 5 steps how to become a mental health technician and all that. This is just my experience, so take it all with a grain of salt. So then after the first week, maybe a little bit more, then I started my actual job training, or on the job training. So everything we learned in tech school, I'm gonna say doesn't, sorry, let me just be real with you guys. There's a lot of things that we did not learn in tech school that you learn just on the job. And people kept telling us that, like when we had our clinicals, and I talked about this in one of my tech school vlogs, the clinicals, like when we would go actually to the hospital while we were in tech school and like talk with people who are already mental health technicians, they were like, all the stuff you learn, like, you're gonna learn way more, and they don't teach you everything, da, da, da. So it was just more like, be ready to learn, be ready to like get on it, because you are going to learn some new stuff on the job, which I did. It's not to say that it's not super difficult. It's just like, dang, we could have learned this in tech school. But yeah, and like I said, we have, I think, the 2nd largest clinic in the Air Force, so it's a busy clinic. So mine is busy. Don't get a station here, it's not probably going to be as busy. I know a lot of people I went to tech school with at other bases, they are not as busy as we are here. It just depends. But yeah, so I've been pretty busy. I've been getting signed off on a lot of things on my training tasks faster here, so that is a plus. So if you're in this field and you get to a more station in a more busy or active clinic, then you're gonna get signed off on things more, because you have more to do, if that makes sense. So like even my supervisor, she was signing some training stuff off for me, and she just was like, you're like going through it really quick. And she goes, but you know, because we have so much to do, you kind of have to be signed off really quick. And I'll talk about like all that probably later this video, or later another video, of like what signing off tasks are and all that. All together, there's less than 10 techs. Well, I would say less than 10 tech who are senior airmen or below ranking. There's probably a couple sergeants, also techs, and then we have a lot of providers, meaning psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers. Those are the people who actually see the patients. So we do what are called, as a tech, one of our jobs is an intake. That's when you first come there and you set the appointment up and you're good to go and all that. You do an intake, which is basically we get all your information, we have a discussion with you, talk about confidentiality rules and Privacy Act and all that, and we basically just go over your whole history. Why you're here, what are your symptoms that you're experiencing, history, family history, anything and everything, appetite, sleep, anything you can think of. Like we go over like your whole history, kind of like also whatever the person wants to share, because obviously they only share how much they want to share sometimes. And then we staff, what's called staff the provider, and we go over to the provider and we say, I just talked to this person, this is what they've been going through, and then you basically list off the history. And then the provider sometimes like, okay, seeing that, maybe we can do this with them, like individual therapy, group therapy, maybe they need to go on an off-base referral, maybe they just need other helping resources. They'll sometimes ask you like, what do you think this diagnosis is? And you can go back and forth, and most of the times they're just asking to get your opinion because you're the one who talked to them. But then also some of them just really like to help you decipher the interviews that you had, and they'll be like, okay, well, what about when they said this? Don't you think that? And they'll kind of lead you with the question. It just depends on what provider you talk to. They kind of help you out in that regard. And every provider is different. Some like to do that where they're kind of like teaching you, like, what about this? Did you think about this, or did you ask this? And that's kind of like what they're doing, is teaching you in that regard. And then some of them are just like, you know what, no, I think we need to diagnose them with this, and da-da-da. And so you staff the provider, and then you bring the patient to the provider. They introduce themselves and everything, and then the provider tells them like, okay, so this is what we're thinking we're gonna do. This is the treatment plan that we want to try out for you. Maybe, and let's say they say maybe individual therapy and everything. And okay, so usually that person will come back every couple of weeks or something. And let's say it's with that same provider, and then it's just them doing individual therapy. You no longer have, like, you're not doing therapy with the person. You're doing intakes. What are intakes? So you're gathering the information and staffing the provider, and then they are doing the individual therapy moving forward. If that makes sense, I hope it does. And you write the note about your whole session or the whole intake. So the 3 main duties that you will be doing as a mental health technician are vitals, desk, and phones. And I kind of already talked about intake, so I guess that's 4. But those are like the 3 main duties. Vitals are probably like what you're probably gonna get signed off first. That is where you get the name of the patient. Let's say this patient is Sergeant Smith. So you'll call the patient in, you're like, Sergeant Smith, and they'll come in and you're like, hi, I'm Airman so-and-so. I'm just going to take you back and do your vitals. You take them back in this room, and you're going to do their height and weight, their blood pressure, if they're experiencing any physical pain, any allergy symptoms to medications, consuming any drugs or alcohol, stuff like that. So that is basically vitals. You're getting people's vitals. If you guys are nurses, ever been to nursing school, it's pretty much just like that. Like when you first go into your doctor's room, or when you go to a doctor visit and they do your height and weight, your blood pressure right before you go talk to a doctor. It's basically like that. And then we just send them back into the waiting room, and then somebody calls them back for like their therapy session. Or desk is just what it sounds like. It's front desk, checking people in, making appointments, follow-up appointments for people. Basically that's it. Checking people in, appointments, if people call and stuff like that. And then phones, which I was afraid of phones because there is so much to know that, like I said in the beginning, you don't know, because tech school does not teach you everything. But it was like nerve-wracking to me. I was so nervous to do phones because I'm like, people are gonna ask me questions that I just don't know. And I'm scared because I want to listen. I've gotten over that fear for the most part now. Like, I'm pretty good because obviously I can talk and communicate, but when I'm just like, they're gonna ask me a question and I have no clue, and I'm gonna be like, and who wants to be on the phone and you don't know anything? And it's like when your mom, when she first made you call to make that doctor's appointment and you were like, please, no. That's how it is. That's how it was. But yeah, so phones is basically people call you for anything. And I mean, the craziest things. I mean, hopefully it hasn't been that crazy. We've got some crazy calls. People get the random number and then they're like, this is a mental health clinic. I was calling Burger King or something. After I got over the initial, like, let me breathe, then it was okay. Because I'd just be like, if I really don't know, I'll just be like, and let me put you on hold really quick to find out. And I'd be putting them on hold, y'all. I'd be putting them on hold. And then I find out, and then I collect myself and get back on there and be like, hello. And then intakes, basically what I said before. And there's also like additional duties. There are civilians who work with us, but Air Force has like additional duties. That could be getting people signed up with referrals, or like mine is patient safety. So once a month I have to do like this, almost like a survey about how we implemented patient safety. Another one of my additional duties is ANAMs, which are basically deployment clearances. So before you go to a deployment, and like I said, it could be different at your base or wherever you go, but they have to come to the mental health clinic and do a deployment clearance just to make sure like they don't have any TBI, which is like traumatic brain injury, anything like that. And then we also hold that information, so when you come back, if anything happens, then they can look at those records of when you took that test and see if any of the levels have changed for your like cognitive function. So I implement the ANAMs. I was the second person, but now they moved me up to first person to do that. So basically like every Friday I'm on those ANAMs. And somebody else who was the first person, they moved to referrals. So right now I am doing all the deployment clearances here at this base. So that's fun. That's like cool. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I get to ask people where they're going, get to live like vicariously through them, and just be like, oh, where are you going? Oh, have fun, you know. I'm like, shh, must be nice now. And there's like a whole bunch more additional duties. That's the thing, because this base is so big, a lot of this stuff, I don't know if they do it at different bases, or how they do it, let me say. So it could totally be different. It takes about a couple of months to get signed off on trainings so you can do them yourself, like vitals. Vitals didn't take the longest because we were trying, a lot of people in my clinic are like PCSing, so like going to a new base, so they were like signing us off even quicker than usual. So I got signed off probably the second week of me being here, or I did in processing, vitals, and then maybe I got signed off like the third week of being here, but the second week of like working. So that was quick, because one girl was like, girl, I was on vitals for like months before I got signed off. But another one is desk. They signed us off, but then they were like, okay, actually we're gonna still train you because there's a lot to know, like that they didn't train us yet, but because things are moving quick, they're like, okay, we're gonna sign you off, but then we're gonna still like train you. And there wasn't too much, like we pretty much knew. It was just little things here and there that just come up, like random questions that we probably wouldn't know, or like just small stuff like that. Desk is only difficult because of the system that we use, or at least for me it was difficult because when you first do it, you guys can use different software, I guess, to make appointments, but the I don't know, I'm gonna just say software because it's kind of a universal term. The software that they use to like make appointments and everything, it literally, when you don't know what you're doing and you've looked at it for the first time, it looks like you're coding. It really does. Like it looks like you're over there doing 0001100. Like, you guys, I was like, oh, I'm not ever gonna learn this. Now I be, and you said, and wait, so you'll be okay. If you're nervous, you're gonna be okay. I'm not even a fast typer, and in the beginning I had to learn, like, it's okay if you're not super fast. Just like I had to slow down and think, because you think you want to get it as quick as possible. Like somebody's telling you, oh, I need this date and time, and da-da-da-da, and you're like, ah. But I just had to like calm myself. Okay. And I think this is gonna make more sense when you guys are on the job, and you'll see how it works. If y'all are already in this field, please let me know if y'all had trouble with Altitude, like, or CHCS, please, because it was a rough. And yeah, for vitals, pretty easy, height and weight. And phones, only thing is people call for anything, and you kind of just have to be on your toes all the time for phones. So it was nerve-wracking. Obviously now I'm better at it. I'm always pretty much in training mode here because there's always something to know, like something to learn. That's kind of a basic level overview of this job, where I am right now, the training that I had. I'll obviously go more into depth about the job and everything like that, steps to get here and all that. And I know you guys really want all that information. There's not a lot out there on YouTube, or just like in general, there's not a lot out there about people who have the job and who are talking about it. And so you guys know, like, my dream job, I guess, for military was broadcast journalism or photojournalism. And that's still, if I do continue, that's still something that I may want to cross train in the future. I don't know. But this job is definitely something that I really feel like God's put me in right now, just because you guys got to go watch that video where like my dad was praying, and it was just like, how crazy is it that I got this job at this time? Like, honestly, it's like a for such a time as this type thing. I really feel like I want to get information out for you guys, people who want this job, who don't know what this job is, who just want to like see me actually finally in a job after 6 years, in the military after 6 years. Just show you guys how it's going and everything, and just talk to you about that. To everybody who I've met during BMT Tech School, even here at my first base, who knows me from my channel, hello, how are you guys? Thank you for coming back and watching, and I hope that I can make more videos and kind of bring this channel to a new stage in this whole journey that we've been on together. So thank you guys so much. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because this is just the first of many videos to come. Air Force, military, you know, mental health related, all of that, and whatever else you guys kind of want to see. And go ahead and like it. And if you've been here for a while and you haven't hit that subscribe button, if it's still red, you got to hit it until it turns gray. But that is all I have for you guys. Thank you for coming and watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.